Hey everyone, it's Nova and welcome back to Cupid. Last episode was basically a flashback, and it helped to set the groundwork to explain in better detail of what happened between Catherine and the Marquis. And I gotta say, some of the stuff that came up I wasn't expecting. It is interesting to see that there was like some drama going on between the Marquis and Catherine's sister, which led to some tension between her and Catherine. And then things took a turn for the worse for Catherine, resulting in her sister's death. But then, more interesting, it was kind of alluded that not alluded. She did pretty much say towards the end that that's when she first fell in love with the Marquis. So I had wondered that at one point earlier if Catherine had actually gotten feelings for the Marquis, if that explained why her temperament had changed. And, it was basically confirmed that she did fall in love with the Marquis, but that at the same time she also felt like a sense of relief, because her sister was dead. So kind of makes you wonder if she was starting to develop feelings before then, but it was only once that tragedy unfolded that it finally surfaced, so to speak. But it will be also interesting to see how this factored into her death, and then too how Rosa felt about all this, because with all this going on, we know how Rosa felt about the Marquis, and it had to have been painful to see the Marquis and Emily together, and then now this, and Catherine was like her closest friend, so this is going to be interesting. And we're opening up with, I'm assuming this is Rosa getting ready to do some kind of witchcraft or some nonsense. So let's see. Well, no, I shouldn't say nonsense, but something that's not familiar to me, I should say. I apologize. Sorry. The first candle is lit. This candle is storage. The love for familiars. The cleanest love. Rosa stared at the blue candle glowing in her hand as she chanted her spell. Trust is the veil that conceals and deceives. Trick his eyes and his heart with the warmth from this candle's flame. A bond of blood like kin will be forged. Weave this trust so that his tongue will yield to what is sought. Oh, okay, I see. So now we're back in the present, and that candle she just lit. Okay. Rosa stood by Catherine's tomb, nursing memories of her. Oh, look at you. I love your outfit. I mean, I know this is not the time or the place, but you look nice. The soft wind lightly blew her hair. It reminded her of Catherine in her playful ways. Tears sprouted from her eye. Even the wind. Okay, you know what? Fuck off, mother. She's already in a depressive state. Please. I'm always here, my love. Just started the episode. Don't get started with your bullshit. Loss will always hurt. But you love Damn you, mother. Damn you. But you love mother the best, don't you? Yes, mother. And you're going to be fine. I will never... Oh, man. As much as I'm having second thoughts about Guilleme, after the last 2 episodes, Mother continually moves further down on my list of people that I like in this novel. Like, seriously. I will never leave you like Catherine did. Except you kind of did. You know, you're both dead. Rosa? Guilleme's soft voice came from behind. Rosa glanced at him in acknowledgement. He stood quietly beside her for a few moments, but ventured to speak. Have you thought about my offer? My house is always open to you. Remember that. I'm sorry for my outburst back then. It's nothing. The wind played around their feet, and Rosa pictured Catherine as part of the breeze, playful and free. Yeah, to be honest, that's the way I want to remember her too. When she got older, she was more, I don't know, like that innocence that she had. You know, I'm thinking back too about that scene in episode 2 when Rosa was talking about how she was in love with like the innocence of life or something of that nature. And I found that very endearing, and that's one thing that I do miss, about childhood or just being younger in general, not so much, the whole being naive thing, but at the same time, you worried about less things. You weren't knowledgeable about certain things that you are now, Simpler times. Simpler times. She was free from the pain and confusion that had plagued her in her last days. They stood beside each other in solemn reverence. Finally, Rosa broke the silence. She was my family. I was in pain before she came along. I didn't know any better. She gave me hope, yeah. She was bright, like a flame. When I closed my eyes, I could still see the imprint of her light in the darkness. I can feel her warmth. A star. They didn't speak again for some time. Guilleme cleared his throat. I was an orphan too, much like you. I know what it feels like to lose too much. I wandered for a long time before I found anything to live for. Were you alone? Sometimes. Always. Rosa nodded. Did you have family? Guilleme shifted uncomfortably. No, they, left me behind. I never knew them. Yeah. Much of my memory of it is blurred. I was taken in by kind people once before, but Guilleme sighed, and Rosa observed a certain disquiet in him. I didn't belong. But you have no difficulty mingling with people. I think of that as a necessity rather than a preference. But either way, it can be quite tiresome after a while. Yeah. Things don't last. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm making the mood worse. Well, in a way, yeah, but I actually appreciate that you're being a little open here, Since you usually tend to keep to yourself about certain matters. You're having a moment. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Guilleme had never opened up to her about his past before, and it worried Rosa how little she actually knew about him. Anyway, would you like to go around town? I'd very much like to take you someplace more cheery. How about our favorite spot? Guilleme smiled with understanding. Ooh, this is a nice... yeah. The pair traveled up a hill at the edge of town. There, the view overlooked the quaint village. The sunset painted everything in the pink glow of dusk of endings. It is always so beautiful here. They used to spend time in this grassy knoll, the three of them. It was their own little hideaway. Memories of the past crept up on every corner. The ghosts of laughter echoed in the wind. Rosa touched the trunk of the small tree they had carved their names on. So many fond memories. Rosa, I want you to have this. Guilleme took Rosa's hand and placed an item in her palm. It was a simple silver locket. She looked up at him questioningly. I have had that for as long as I can remember. One of my remembrance of the past. I can't take this. You must. You need it more than I do. But it's old and the locket doesn't even open anymore. I don't know why I've held on to it for so long. I can't even remember how I came to have it. But it comforts me. Maybe it'll have the same effect for you. This is your treasure, Guilleme. It feels wrong to take it. On the contrary, I believe you must have it. Call it a hunch or a feeling, an urge on my part. I am not good with expressing sorrow or even giving comfort. But I want to do something, at least, for you. He closed his hand over hers, affirming the gift. It's yours. Please take it. You're wrong to think that I am letting you stay in the castle simply for Catherine's sake. I do it of my own accord. Let me do this for you, Rosa. We have been friends for quite a while. If you need to leave, at least stay until you feel ready to go. Alright. But I'll continue working in your household for my lodging. You don't have to do that. I can raise your status to a lady. You can read and write now, and very well. I'm sure you'll be more comfortable in a higher position. I have no need for a higher position. Just free access to your library. You have come a long way from the shy girl back then, Rosa. Watching you grow has been a pleasure. Yes, the library is yours. They were quiet for a while, only conversing through looks, smile, and tiny sighs. Rosa realized that she had been holding on to Guilleme's time all that time. She broke off from his hold, rather embarrassed. We should head back. You're right. It's getting quite late. Guilleme walked over to the carriage to get it ready. Excellent, child. Being a maid in his household will give you free access to the rooms. He trusts you completely. Oh boy. It seems that the candle worked. I had actually forgotten about that candle. Oh no. I don't know how I feel about this. I guess so. Rosa looked at the silver necklace in her hand. She fiddled with it, trying to open the lock. Now, I'm not going to lie, I definitely do want to open it, but not with him nearby. Like I would rather want to open it when I'm completely alone. Like if I open it and then he walks over. But then if I say leave it alone, that kind of implies that she's not going to even bother to open it again at a later time. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know what? Try and open it. Open that locket. I like to see what's inside. We all do, Mother. Calm down. An object that he owns will make any enchantment more powerful. Rosa fussed with the pendant for a while, but like Guilleme said, it was stuck. I'll try again later, Mother. Okay, alright. So, I'm kind of glad in a way that she didn't get it open on the first try, but at least now it does kind of hint that she will try to get it open again. Yeah, exactly. I'm rather curious about it myself. The spell will start its effect in stages, gradually uncovering his true face. Fondness first, then trust. Familiarity. Rosa sighed. But was the spell necessary at all? Didn't she already have that with Guilleme? Good point. Because until she brought up the candle again, I had actually forgotten about it, and I actually thought that this was a genuine interaction between the two. Now I'm wondering if it did have any effect. Rosa bit her lip, remembering the warmth of his hand. They had known each other for a long time. It was rather comforting to have someone to mourn with. However, Rosa did find it strange that the Guilleme rarely even mentioned Catherine anymore. It was as if he was shedding her off like skin. Again, the taste of blood in her throat resurfaced. The memory of the needles made her stomach lurch. Since her friend had died, the Marquis has been spending all his hours locked in his office. He barely showed himself socially, rarely even attended meals. But they were casting a powerful spell, something that might harm Guilleme. What if he was, after all, innocent? I don't know. Considering what happened back in chapter... I keep saying chapter. Considering what happened back in episode 3... I don't know. There's something definitely off about the guy, you know? She had years of good memories with him. What was she even expecting to find out? Exactly how could she live with the guilt of two dead two friends, dead friends. Wow, this thing could be that bad that he could end up killing himself, or it could cause. Wow. Okay. Rosa sighed. She cared for him. Despite all the suspicions, she knew that much. But Mother was adamant. 3 candles for 3 loves. A fitting curse for a man who frolics in love's domain. Storage. The love for familiars. Philia. The love for friends. And Eros. The love for lust. Open his heart with storage. Unmask him with Philia. Strike him down with Eros. Yet Rosa kept a 4th candle. One she had named Agape. Unconditional love. seeing that just now made me think of an aunt that passed away, wow, almost 20 years ago, if even longer than that. She had cancer, and I always remember growing up, she always liked to sign like cards and letters, at the end, instead of saying love or sincerely, she always signed them agape. She didn't know whether she would ever use it. Mother, of course, would object. Fuck Mother at this point, seriously. But just in case arrows successfully strike Guilleme, she wished to light agape. At least give him peace before. Rosa walked towards Guilleme, a pang of anxiousness biting at her. Rise, my daughter. The work lays ahead. To bring him down, we must find his weakness. Then we attack. Revenge will be sweet, my dear daughter. Do it for Mother. You are just the worst, I swear.